An angel on earth. That is how many referred to Amy Betros, the co-founder of St. Luke's Mission of Mercy. In the early morning hours of Wednesday, April 30th, Amy took her last breath. Those touched by her now say Amy's an angel in heaven. In this WGRZ Plus streaming special, we'll take some time to look back at Amy's life, her impact in Buffalo the last 30 years, and the legacy she leaves behind. Now, when we first learned of Amy's passing, we went straight to St. Luke's to talk to those who knew her best.
I know she don't want us to be sad, but right now it's really hard not to be sad because we lost a big part of St. Luke's Mission of Mercy, and we lost an angel. She changed this community around, and I'm gonna tell you, if it wasn't for Amy, I wouldn't know where I would be. I'm gonna tell you, I came here with nothing on my back. Amy sucked me who I was, me and my 3 kids. So she helped a lot of people, and she still did. She fed a lot of people. She clothed a lot of people. She cooked here the needs are here at the mission. She loved everybody. She had a heart what God called her to do. She was a wonderful lady to everybody. She didn't have no animosity to nobody. She loved everybody. She had a heart for everybody.
She was a selfless giver. Everyone that ever came into her life, she always helped in one way or another, and that deserves respect and carry on her legacy. Keep on being kind to the people down here.
She was my grandmother. St. Luke's was opened August 1st, 1994, and I was born August 9th, 1994. So before that, she had a relationship with my mom, raising her and helping her to come to a missionary at St. Luke's. I was born 8 days after St. Luke's was opened, and so, long story short, together forever. She was a real force to be reckoned with in our community. Without her, we're going to be missing a lot of what she stood for and what she did, and our community is in need for another leader like her, another person like her, to be more like Christ amongst all of us.
Real difficult time for us to understand why the Lord took her now, but it's important also to remember that the mission will continue and her legacy will live on.
Oh man, she got a beautiful heart, her smile, her words of encouragement. She always was forgiving towards people. She never judged nobody. You can trust her with all your heart. You can trust her with whatever you tell her. She always had super great advice. Man, everything about her all around was just beautifully done. Whatever she gets, she gives away. That's how big her heart was. It's sad, but we got to rejoice at the same time. That's, you know what I mean? That's how she always wanted us to be, so that's what we do.
So who was Amy Betros? Well, 2 on Your Side's Kelly Dudzik spoke with her in 2017 to learn more about how she was called to serve.
Amy Betros grew up on Buffalo's West Side. Her parents owned a Lebanese bakery. And when Amy grew up, she decided to open up her own restaurant.
And I had Amy's Place, and it was like the hub for everybody.
Amy's Place became a popular place for people seeking help and guidance. But a trip to Fatima, Portugal in 1992 would lead Amy to something even bigger.
I met Norm Pellini, who was a research scientist at Roswell Park Cancer Institute. And we started talking and realized we both had a great love for the poor. So when we came back, we prayed and really felt that we wanted to do something together. And we found out that St. Luke's was for sale.
The bishop agreed to sell the East Side Church and its buildings to Amy and Norm for $200,000. They opened St. Luke's Mission of Mercy in 1994 with a staff of just 7.
On Mondays and Wednesdays, we would make bags of food and give it to people. And then like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we would open the school up and we'd do clothing for people.
Then St. Luke's started to take people in. Before she knew it, Amy says they were feeding 400 to 600 people in the kitchen twice a day. They transformed the first floor of the former school into a mall where people can shop free of charge. Another room stores the food volunteers package up and give to families on Thursdays.
Through generous donations like these, St. Luke's helps to feed 300 families a week.
Hundreds of volunteers show up each Thanksgiving to give 2,700 families food. As Amy got to know her neighbors, another need came up. All of the Catholic schools on the East Side closed. So Amy started a homeschool. Then she says people started donating houses to St. Luke's. The mission now owns 23 homes.
Have you seen the needs change through the years, and how has the neighborhood changed?
When we first got here, there was a lot of violence. I mean, petty violence, petty stealing. You know, it changes. It's one house at a time, one person at a time, you know, but it is changing. When we came here, people were hopeless. They felt condemned. And hopefully through the year, 23 years we're here now, people hopefully know that there is a way out and that there is someone who loves them unconditionally.
And through the years, you've had so many success stories with the children who've gone on to college and have been successful.
They'll come back and they'll say, we just wanted to come and say thank you. You know, like they're some of them are nurses, and some of them, you know, got their college degrees. Like you said, they're all over. I'll be shopping and they'll hear my voice and they'll come running. They call me, Ma, you know, look, do you remember me? You know, I'm going to college now. I just finished, or I'm working, you know. Or they'll bring the kids. Look, we got our kids and we're getting married. And I think, you know, God is good.
Those students in St. Luke's school didn't just learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. They also learned about compassion, generosity, faith, and empathy. The late 2 on Your Side reporter Scott Brown spoke with some of those students whose lives were forever changed by St. Luke's.
Sydney Perkins, Tasha White, and Diego Reynoso have a lot in common and a lot to be thankful for this holiday season. All three grew up living at St. Luke's Mission of Mercy, and now, thanks to their mentor, Amherst attorney Mike Taheri, all three are now in college. We began following their journey 2.5 years ago. At the time, Sydney was a senior at Holy Angels Academy looking at colleges. Today, Sydney's a Dean's List student at Canisius College who works with autistic children.
I didn't know I'd be going this well. I didn't know I'd be excelling in my subjects. I didn't know I would have this many friends, this great of atmosphere. So I'm here, but it's even better than I could have imagined.
What has St. Luke's meant to you?
St. Luke's has meant a lot to me. St. Luke's has definitely made me who I am today. It teaches you compassion, it teaches you mercy, it teaches you to love your neighbor, to help your neighbor.
She also says that St. Luke's has taught her not to fall victim to other people's expectations or stereotypes.
For all those people who hear you cannot, or for all those people who hear that you should be pregnant, be in jail, you shouldn't be in college, for all those people who hear that, and when they see that it's not true, you can be in college, you definitely, if you could put your mind to it, you can definitely do whatever you think and whatever you want because you're that powerful.
2.5 years ago, Tasha White was a freshman at Trocaire College. She graduated on the Dean's List with an associate's degree and is now at Canisius College, majoring in journalism, and she also works part-time doing clerical work at the U.S. Attorney's Office.
What do you say to people who come from a tough background and feel that they can't make it or they can't change their circumstance?
Firstly, I would say just because you started from rock bottom doesn't mean anything. I am proud to say where I came from because that's made me the person that I am today. I'm so strong. I am so eager to try new things. I'm so dedicated to all the people around me. I have family, not just biological family. I have family at St. Luke's. I have family at Canisius, and it's because of my background that I pushed forward. So my advice is, if you're struggling right now, don't let that define you. You keep pushing forward, you keep trying, and you will get somewhere in life.
When we first met Diego Reynoso, he was struggling to graduate from Bennett High School. Today, he's a Dean's List student at Trocaire who now helps tutor other students.
I want to get in the medical field because I just like helping people, you know, with the church. So we ever do the best we can to help those who need it. And I don't see me doing anything else than helping someone else.
And is that because of all the people that have reached out to help you?
It's exactly that.
And so this would be your way of giving back, right?
Yep. I want to get back to the community, to my church, to my job. It's just the central role I see in my life is that I have to help those who need help.
Today, Mike Taheri continues to mentor Sydney, Tasha, and Diego and stays in near daily contact with all three of them.
Could you have imagined a couple of years ago they'd be doing as well as they are?
Not this well. It's exceeded my expectation, but at St. Luke's, you put it in God's hands. So we do some of the work, It's in God's hands, and they've blessed us and exceeded our expectations in every possible way. They make my life better. They enhance my wife's life. I mean, we're just blessed to be part of the St. Luke's community, and it's a beautiful experience. This is pure joy. This is when people say, what makes you happy? How can you feel peace? It is pure joy to see these kids succeed and know that they're going to come and give back to St. Luke's.
Amy's vision for St. Luke's expanded outside the walls of the church and school. She found a way to build housing for women and children. Our Julie O'Rourke met with Amy in 2018 to see it all come to life.
It's just like taking care of a big, huge family.
For 25 years, Amy Betros, who helped found St. Luke's Mission of Mercy, has dedicated her life to helping others.
We're blessed.
Today, she showed me around the ever-growing Gospa Village, a community of homes for mothers and their children, where they can develop the skills needed for independence.
And I wanted them to be safe. I wanted us to be able to just, give them a better quality of life.
The women and children that will call these 3 houses home will be part of a special neighborhood on Buffalo's east side, thanks to the gifts of some pretty special people and some help from above.
I can only tell you that the Lord laid on my heart to ask Scott Baylor, he's my first one, and Scott spoke to Kathy Lasher, and the 2 of them donated $150,000 to build a house.
And then there was Frank and Maria Stuckey.
Well, we want to start the Norm Pellini house, so they gave $50,000.
It was Norm Pellini, who died this past year, that helped found St. Luke's with Amy.
And then I prayed about Russell Salvatore, because I know how generous and what a beautiful soul he is. And he gave us the money to build the 3rd house, $175,000.
And there are others, including the Transit Valley Country Club's Women's Golf Fundraiser that covered the cost of appliances.
Just little things like that, that make it easy for Mom.
There's more to come for this special community. Plans are to turn this empty lot along Ruland Avenue into more homes for more women.
So they have a safe haven where they can have a little community with their same mind, same heart, same spirit to help them get on their feet.
Amy had been working the past several years to get Build Promise off the ground. It's a shelter for homeless men and a clinic right next to St. Luke's on Walden Avenue. Construction is still happening today, and they hope to open later this year. As we've seen, there are countless lives who have been helped by Amy Betros in St. Luke's through housing, the clothing, the food, the school, the holiday bags and toys, and so much more. But then there are the helpers themselves who come and give back because they have been inspired by Amy. Heather Lee's report from 2022 shares their stories.
It takes a small army of volunteers to keep St. Luke's Mission of Mercy going strong.
They have no paid staff here, yet they produce 2,000 meals a day. So it's about volunteerism, it's about the community coming together.
And there's extra help around the holidays, like these Canisius High School students packing bags with food and gifts for Christmas.
St. Luke's Mission of Mercy is like one of the heartbeats of this city. They do God's work.
Vanessa Marino wanted to do her part, so she started a grassroots winter boot drive by herself 4 years ago to help those in need, but also to teach her young kids about giving back. When she put out the call to friends, family, and coworkers, they answered by donating more than she ever could have hoped for.
Last year, we were able to donate $1,000 as well as over 500 items of warm winter clothing.
She's rallying the troops once again this year to collect much-needed items, winter coats, hats, gloves, and boots, but also toiletries and school supplies for the children St. Luke serves.
Everything will add up. I mean, like I said, a chapstick, a coloring book, things that you can pick up even at, the dollar stores. The holidays are a time of giving and thinking of others, and so this is a great opportunity for us as a family and a community to give back to those people who are in need. And just looking around in the community, there are a lot of people who need things right now, some very basic things that you and I and a lot of other people take for granted.
You can drop off donations at all Fatty Beer locations, Hops and Hounds at Seneca One Tower, or Essex Homes.
It's about coming together. And these clothes and the finances and the food that's produced here at St. Luke's All of those come together to bring that happiness to a family during hard times. It takes a village, absolutely. Amen.
And the mayor of that village was certainly Amy Betros. She served with love and never judgment. When I started my Selfless Among Us series in 2022, Amy was one of the first people I featured because she embodied selflessness. Look up selfless in the dictionary and you might find Amy's picture. I personally was so inspired by spending just one day with her.
There's not a day that goes by that I just don't love what I do.
Amy Betros likes to say God's in charge at St. Luke's Mission of Mercy. She's just his secretary.
Well, it's not work to me. It's my life.
After a trip to Fatima, Portugal, in which she says she heard her calling, she sold her Buffalo restaurant, Amy's Place, and founded the mission with her friend Norm Paolini in 1994.
So here we are, going to be 28 years. We're still doing it. You know, every day. This is God's place.
She says it's not a soup kitchen or homeless shelter, it's a mission. They serve 600 people 2 meals a day and send these bags of food home with families weekly. St. Luke's Mission Mall provides clothing for free. The baby room has diapers and formula. And under Amy's leadership, 23 homes were given to St. Luke's and they built 6 more.
Give them a better quality of life.
There's even a school, too. Mike Tahiri is the director of the education program, and he says Amy's selflessness in all of this changes lives.
She sacrificed her life every day for the good of this community, and she's relentless in serving God. Jesus lives in Amy Betros.
Father Jack Mattabor says Amy's gifts go well beyond the physical food, clothing, and shelter. Her offerings of empathy and compassion are what set her apart.
People come to her who are feeling unloved and forgotten, and she just has a warmth about her. You know, she's a determined, driven woman, but you know, she does it all for God.
Amy rarely slows down, but she was forced to last month when she was hospitalized with pneumonia. She says she spent that time in prayer for those who need St. Luke's.
I believe with all my heart, anybody who steps foot on St. Luke's ground, this holy ground, whether they come to get help or they come to help, will be blessed and their lives will change.
Amy might be gone, but her work certainly isn't done. Those who loved her told us they'll make sure of it.
God called us to be together, and this mission is still going to go on. She might not be here, but this mission is going to still go on with her life. She taught us how to do this, and we all going to pull together and do what she called us to do.
If you see somebody that's starving, you know, give them 2 pieces of bread and a slice of bologna. Something as simple as that is carrying on her legacy.
It hurts, but as Miss Amy would say, she wants us all to work together, keep the legacy alive, but always putting the Lord first, and always working together as one family.
So please just keep sending us your prayers, donations. Please come and visit us. Please keep volunteering. We appreciate you, and we need to keep on moving forward.
We ain't giving up. Long as I'm here, I'm going to fight, and I'm going to stay here. Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here on these grounds. Amy is up there with the Lord, and she watching down on us. And she don't want us to give up, and we ain't giving up.
Some like to believe that Amy is now reunited with her friend and St. Luke's co-founder, Norm Paolini. Norm passed 7 years ago on April 30th at the age of 71. Amy also passed on April 30th at the age of 71. And what also happened on April 30th? Well, on that exact date, 25 years ago, the inspiration behind St. Luke's Mission of Mercy, Sister Maria Faustina, was canonized and became Saint Faustina. Amy Betros modeled her work of divine mercy after Saint Faustina. And yes, to many here in the City of Good Neighbors, Amy Betros herself was a saint. Thanks for watching this WGRZ Plus special. I'm Melissa Holmes.